Welcome, you're watching Twilight on CRTV News. C'est notre émission de décryptage de l'actualité tous les soirs de 18h à 19h30. Nous allons parler un peu ce soir de ce que certains peuvent considérer comme un manque, si vous voulez, des femmes dans les TIC, que ce soit en formation ou bien dans les emplois du domaine. The indispensable need for women to acquire skills in information technology is being highlighted in an ongoing workshop organized by the association known as Cameroonian Youth School Incubator, known by its abbreviation KIST, and its founder, Arielle Kitio, is on set with us. Bonsoir, Arielle.
Bonsoir.
And one of the participants at the training, the training is what is known as Tech Women Factory, I guess. Exactly. Ngum Mercy is here. Good evening, Ngum. Welcome.
Good evening.
Well, as we mentioned, the training dubbed Tech Women Factory is empowering young women in the use of ICT tools for economic autonomy. The United Nations Women Program has joined the course with its Second Chance Education project to foster the initiative in its first edition. So I'm going to begin by asking you, you are a software developer. Do you feel, having gone through that training and working in the domain, that there is a gender gap when it comes to new technologies? Are women still not is someone even closing the door to them? Are they not accepted in the domain?
Yes, absolutely yes. So actually, it's not only my belief. We have we have general statistics about that. In Cameroon, for example, we have less than 18% of IT professionals who are women.
Okay.
So when we are talking about women in IT, we are talking about a double discrimination. So the first discrimination is when they want to have access to competency, because it's still considered a male vocational sector. And the second discrimination is when they are doing their transition to the job market, and this becomes worse when they are going to compete for senior position. So that's why we bring the initiative Tech Human Factory, aiming at facilitating the equitable access to competency, to decent jobs, and to seize funds for women in IT sector in Cameroon.
Permettez que je vous reprenne un peu sur ça. Est-ce que c'est le système qui limite les chances des filles, ou bien c'est les filles qui ne sont pas intéressées par ces domaines-là?
C'est une composition des deux. Donc il y a d'abord une question de perception, où justement les parents, la société considèrent encore les secteurs numériques, les secteurs de la technologie comme les secteurs des hommes, alors que vous voyez mes ongles sont bien faits, je ne me rends pas moins femme de faire dans la science et la technologie. Et puis de l'autre côté, cette perception extérieure donc influence et crée en ces femmes-là une certaine aussi perception d'elles-mêmes à travers le secteur. Donc ça va dans les deux sens. Et puis on voit aujourd'hui que les femmes qui s'y mettent deviennent très performantes, deviennent très créatives, et puis arrivent à, j'ai pas envie de dire battre, mais à être parfois plus performantes même que les hommes dans ces différents secteurs du numérique.
Ok, bon, vous pouvez nous battre, ça ne fait rien. Merci. Is IT intimidating from afar? You know, maybe not to you, to other young girls you discuss with on a daily basis.
Well, I think yes, it is intimidating because, you know, IT is very complex, and most often some girls are not really into complex issues, so they find it intimidating, even though it's not.
Well, the reason I'm asking you is generally when I meet girls, especially in the professional domain, and I'm asking them, I don't know, what field are you interested in? Generally, they would look for the soft, gentle things, you know, society, culture, fashion, you know, things like that. And is it because society more or less has contributed in making them feel that is what they should be doing, or is it because we've said, for example, that the harder things are for the men?
Yes, I think it's a combination of both, because women are more inclined into feminine professions like fashion, as you said, but when you look at the world, you see that there are some good fashion designers that are men. So
in fact, it's possible to cross, you know, to excel in a domain that more or less is perceived as a women's domain.
And while growing up, most women are not really geared or
groomed for that,
for the tech field.
Okay. her question actually takes me to my next preoccupation. As a parent, I feel like most parents either don't know or don't do enough to prepare their children for STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Whereas these are the courses, more or less, that drive the world's economy. And it's even worse when it comes to the girl child. You know, having this kind of conversation with a girl child sometimes never happens.
Yes, that's why at KC...
Is it not just an issue of ignorance?
Not only, because we organize, actually, as I'm talking to you, we have a camp where we are training kids from 8 to 15 in coding, in robotics, in financial education, in painting also. Okay. So sometimes it's not just about ignorance, it's like some complex, because some people are having the information, but they are like, it's too complicated, I don't have money, but they are having money to drink beer, they are having money to do something that is not going to be as productive as investing in the education of their kids. So that's why we are very interested to come in on the TV and then to talk about and discuss with parents, to tell them that engineering, mathematics, arts, science and technology are the sector of the future. So they have to make sure that boys and girls are enrolled in this field.
Don't you feel that there is also an issue when it comes to the way these subjects are taught in school?
Yes.
Because I personally feel that most of these subjects, like Mercy mentioned a while ago, from the first day you get into the class, you almost feel like, wow, this is not for me. Yes,
absolutely. That's why we use what we call a 6-in-1 methodology. So discover, learn, practice, create, solve, and have fun. We use a problem-solving approach. So when you're going at school, you have to show to the kid that mathematics is a tool to solve this kind of problem. Physics is a tool that you use to solve this kind of problem. When they see those subjects as a tool to create fun, to create a solution, they feel more interested on those fields. Even with the Tech Human Factory, we are connected to the job market. We go and see some partners, some company in the civil society, and you ask to them, what are the problems you are facing? And then during the training, women are working on creating value, creating solutions, and then they feel that what they are learning is useful for someone, is useful for the society, and then they are more and more interested on those fields.
Is the training that Tech Women Factory is giving, is it different from what you had encountered before now? I don't know, either in class or anywhere else you might have met any of these fields. Is the approach different?
Well, before Tech Women Factory, as you mentioned, I had never really had training in ICT skills and tools. So yes, this training is very different from what I've known before. It is detailed, and it is a combination of ICT and entrepreneurship. The training seeks to give young women skills that will help them incorporate these ICT skills into their different domains and whatever they're doing, so that they can, be better employed or to create employment for themselves.
She's opened up our next question, more or less. What's your training? What is the X factor, if you care, that this training brings?
Yes, so we have, first of all, we have 3 main paths. So we train women on, the first part is about data science, how to collect, how to analyze and provide useful information for decision makers. The second part is about development of web.
And you mentioned to me earlier, sorry, that for data science, you should have a certain qualification.
Yes, so for data science, we were looking for women who had at least a GCE advanced level, is a scientific GCE advanced level, so un baccalauréat scientifique. And the second part is web and mobile app development. And the third part is about digital and numeric arts.
Et pour les 2 derniers, il ne faut pas forcément être scientifique à la base.
Pas du tout. Nous avons une approche de formation qui est très digeste, qui permet à toute personne ayant un baccalauréat même à pouvoir s'en sortir et pouvoir à la fin être professionnel dans ces différents secteurs-là. Et maintenant, la valeur ajoutée, c'est que nos programmes techniques sont renforcés par des programmes transversaux. Donc nous formons les femmes sur tout ce qui est développement personnel, tout ce qui est entrepreneuriat, tout ce qui est éducation éducation financière, comment je gère mon argent, c'est quoi la dette, comment est-ce que je fais un crédit, est-ce que c'est important ou pas, comment est-ce que je gère mon temps, comment est-ce que je définis ou bien j'ai des objectifs, et qui est-ce que je suis, quels sont mes objectifs de vie, qu'est-ce que je veux atteindre, quel type de carrière je veux pour moi-même. Et puis on travaille beaucoup sur des mises en relation avec des mentors qui viennent les inspirer, leur dire j'ai été comme vous, voici ce que ça m'a pris de devenir successful, et puis vous avez à vous donner, à travailler de manière assidue, à être curieux, à être résilient, et vous allez pouvoir y arriver. Donc vraiment c'est un programme qui allie à la fois des compétences technologiques et des soft skills qui donnent des compétences transversales utiles pour toute la vie.
Mercy, how long are you going to take this training, and do you have an idea already of what you want to do with it?
The training will last 9 months, 6 months of studies, of training, of practical work, and 3 months of internship. And after this training, I have a clue of what I'm going to do. I would like to, open or start a media enterprise with where we'll do infography, graphic design, and so many other things.
Okay, and are the other girls around you as enthusiastic? By the way, how many girls are taking this training, and do you feel that they too are enthusiastic and are looking forward to the benefits?
Yes, we have 83 girls, 88 girls.
Quite a lot, huh?
142.
142. Okay.
Sorry, yes, we have 142 girls, and yes, they are also enthusiastic. When we started the
girls only?
No. We have 179 young Cameroonian, and then 142 women.
Okay.
So when we started, we did, we are separated into 3 different fields, but we had the common courses and we were all together. The girls are so enthusiastic. We have those who already have small businesses, small enterprises, and they are looking forward to be done with their training.
So they can apply this in their entrepreneurial experiences. Okay, interesting. Pour vous, à la fin, c'est quoi l'objectif? Vous espérez, est-ce que is it not too little if you care in order to reduce that gender gap or that gender divide that we mentioned in the beginning?
It's never too late. It's never too late. We are still alive, so yeah, there's something that we can do. And then, as I told you before, the objective is to facilitate access to decent job for women. So we are collaborating with organization, maybe with CRTV, to have internship for our girls, and then to have them hired at the end of the training. That's why we are very thankful to our partners like Mondial Affaires Canada, like Kitio International, like UN Women, who are joining effort with us to make sure that we provide highly qualitative training for those women, and then to ensure their mentorship even after the training, even after their insertion in the job market.
Well, I'm imagining an employer who is looking, I don't know, for a software developer and is looking at you and is like, no, I'm sure I'm looking for a strong man, who is capable.
I will tell you, try me.
Okay, so what more do you feel needs to be done in order to encourage young girls to take up either these fields of study or these jobs, or dream of these jobs? What more needs to be done? I have a feeling that increasingly our kids these days are all thinking of public service and ENAM, and they don't realize that there are opportunities elsewhere, and that some of these opportunities can actually give them far more than any of these public jobs can.
Exactly. Something I want to tell to everyone is that actually Cameroon is among the top 3 African countries well placed for outsourcing IT projects. So big IT companies around the world, when they are looking to Africa, Cameroon is among the top 3 according to Scale Report 2021. So there are big economic opportunities in those fields, but women are not ready to seize these opportunities. So parents, if you just want your girls to gain more money, you have to.
If the motivation is connected to l'argent,
you have to let them be enrolled. And then I like to say, technology is something that is very beautiful, because you don't ask you to have beer, you don't ask you to have muscles. It just asks you to have brain and to be smart. And then we know women are smart, so we can do that. And I think that you have to work on sanitation of parents, sanitation of at schools, and then you are going to have we have to work also a national strategy to have more girls and more women into technology. And then something that is very frustrating on the daily basis is the access to funding, because it was not very easy for us to
convince your partners.
Yes, to have 179 young Cameroonians coming from the 10 region of Cameroon.
That's what I was going to ask you. That is this just something that benefits the urban girls, or girls coming from everywhere?
Girls coming from, she's coming from the northwest of Cameroon. So we have girls coming from the 10 region of Cameroon, and then we are taking care of them in Yaoundé. They are going through a 9-month training program free of charge. So it's costing a lot of money to make sure that we are bridging, they are comfortable in that we are bridging this gap actually in the tech field. So we have to have more partners supporting at many levels, level of giving opportunity to those girls to go in their company and then test them. I'm sure you are going to hire them. Access to funding, access to infrastructure, and even access to communication tools and panel like this. So I think more has to be done, and then we are grateful to be able to actually help some Cameroonian women to achieve their potential. Mercy,
any message to the young girl who's listening to you from, I don't know, the far north region or the east region, you know, some place where they're telling themselves, a computer, no, I'm never going to have one, or I'm never going to touch one. Using it, you know, it's even working with it on a daily basis. What message do you have for them?
Well, I think I'll just tell them that they should not be scared. They should not be scared to work with the computers, to explore it, to play with it. And they should also carry out research, because just like Ms. Arielle said, the young girls, they don't have much knowledge about these ICT skills and what they can do for them. So they should be more interested in looking at their computers, looking at exploring their phones.
And not using it just for
social media
and messaging.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to probably end our conversation. I'm an IT lover. I can talk about IT for the whole day. Everybody who watches this show knows that. I was telling one of my nieces the other day that you could actually use your phone and maps app on it to know where you're going to, we're traveling, to know where you're going to and the distance it takes you to get there. And she was looking at me and she was like, wow. And I said, yeah, you don't use it just to send text, you know, and say hi and so on and so forth. I said, with that phone, you shouldn't get lost, never in your life.
Yes.
Because if your maps software is updated and it has all the details locally, whether online or offline, you can get to where you're going to.
Exactly.
So, pleasure, really deep pleasure having this conversation with you, Arielle Kitio, and Kitio, and having this conversation with you, Mercy. Good luck as you move on with your training. I was almost going to promise you that we're going to try to track you and see what you become later on, but I know it also takes resources to do that, so I'm not going to make that promise. But it will be interesting. It will be interesting to do that. Okay, merci pour l'initiative et bonne chance.
Merci beaucoup pour le panel que nous avez offert.
Le plaisir est le mien. Let's take a break, and when we come back, Twilight will continue. We will be talking about the beautiful, irresistible outfit of the grassfields people. Stay on. You're watching Twilight on CRTV News. I'm Bobenat Fonkamuta. The Toghu Army Movement, a cultural initiative to promote and preserve the culture of Cameroon through the Toghu outfits of the Northwest region, has started a nationwide campaign about the values of traditional regalia. This was at an event to launch the Toghu Army Movement Saturday at the Muna Foundation here in Yaoundé, and it was presided over by its founder, Cameroonian-born Maybelle Boma, who is based in the USA and who comes from Santa Subdivision. Good evening, Maybelle. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Martha, not Maybelle.
No, Martha, sorry.
Yeah, I'm Martha, okay. And I'm representing Maybelle here.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you very much, Fonka. And it's a pleasure for me to be here tonight. Thank you very much for having us on stage.
Humphrey, you're the Director of Communications of the Toghu Army Movement. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Fonka, for having me. It's a pleasure being here once again to speak to Cameroonians about this very important vision. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, if we were talking to somebody who probably didn't notice your outfit and who doesn't know what is unique about it, and the person would ask, what is Toghu? What would you say?
Okay, what I would tell the person, Fonka, is that Toghu, as you see me in it, is an outfit, a Cameroonian outfit, though it originated from the northwest region of Cameroon, but it's a unique outfit which represents Cameroonians out there, and that is why you see some days back that on Saturday we had to do our official launch, despite the fact that we have been doing a lot of online campaigns about this very befitting outfit. So Toghu is an outfit that originated from the northwest region of Cameroon, and it represents Cameroon worldwide. It's made of fiber, and it encompasses the colors of our national flag, as you can see.
There's a lot of green, red, and yellow.
Yeah, made of green, red, and yellow, and white. As you know, the meaning of white, it stands for purity. White comes into punctuate because it's all about purity. Anything which is not pure, of course, it's not it. So Toghu, as you can see, though it is not just a fabric which is the color can be red, it can be yellow, it can be green, but the unique color of Toghu is black, and the other colors that has been used to mark it as you see it on me. So it's an outfit. So you can see which originated from the northwest
region. The peculiarity is probably the embroidery.
Yeah, the embroidery and the regalia
usually respects these colors. Okay, tell me a little bit more. When we look at the embroidery, sometimes we see that some particular designs come up, like the village gong and things like that. Is it also a way to transmit messages, about our people and their belief system?
All right. Before I get to the question, you asking to add to what she said. We will talk about it. Toghu is a word in the Mankan language, which means a shout of honor, shout of royalty, shout of nobility. So, coming to your question, the embroideries in the Toghu transmit messages that relate to our culture. In some Toghus you find the moon, in some you find the gong, in some you find that you even find a lion.
It depends on who is marking and what the intention is,
and who is to use that. So, like for the king, most often what you see on the embroidery on the Toghu of the king is often like the moon or the lion. That's to say, it reflects what they say the lion is the king of the forest. Like the moon, which stands for the lead, that's the traditional ruler, is the light of the people. So those marks transmit cultural messages and values of a particular people. So they vary from people to people.
Okay, interesting. If anybody was taking those designs for granted, we now have an explanation. It's not just a design that is chosen accidentally. It is based on what message the designer is trying to send across. So why does this attire or outfit from the Northwest region today need an army movement, more or less?
Well, I think that the Toghu army movement thinks that this outfit needs an army because we are out there to portray this regalia. You remember some few months back, about 13 months back, when Ngozi Okoye of Nigeria was made the leader of the World Trade Organization, Nigerians bumped the social media and they celebrated theirs in their regalia. But we as Cameroonians, we have a very beautiful regalia that we don't make good use of. They celebrated theirs, and the question which came to mind was, what if it were a Cameroonian? What would we have used as Cameroonians to celebrate our own? So this daughter of the soil, Maybelle Boma, she thought it wise to come up with this vision of us putting our own regalia out there on the national and why not on the international stage to make the world know that we also have something like this, even though that is something we have, but as sweet and beautiful and unique as it is, we kind of try to confine it, but we think that is not how we should use this very beautiful thing, because we think that when something is good, the world should know about it. So that is why the Cameroonian born Maybelle Boma thought it wise to bring this regalia on the forefront for national acceptance and the international acceptance, because we thought that if this was a Cameroonian, we would not have had anything very unique to celebrate as. We also realized that Cameroonians import the beautiful kente from Ghana. We also import beautiful regalias from Nigeria, forgetting that we also have something very beautiful. Gone are those days we used to think that this is only royalty. We know it's very expensive, that we cannot belabor at that point. That's something which cannot deny. But we think that it's high time we started using our own to celebrate our own. So
I'm going to disagree with her a little bit insofar as the acceptance is concerned, because I have been observing the national landscape for a good number of years now, and I remember, if I'm not mistaken, our last 2 Olympic game participations, Cameroon's delegation wore this particular fabric, and to me, that was probably the biggest sporting stage and the biggest exposure where Cameroon could. So I'm telling myself, if the country can accept that its Olympic team use this fabric, you know how culturally diverse we are. We have 10 regions with 10 what am I talking about? Hundreds of different cultural outfits and traditions. So for Cameroon to go to the Olympic Games with this outfit was acceptance. Don't you agree?
That was the beginning of it. We don't deny that fact. But like our brothers from the other side of the Mongo, they think when they see you put this on, they think no, it's the Bamenda dress. So I think that is the concept the Toghu Army movement is out to
want to nationalize it.
We want to nationalize it.
And
internationalize it, of course, from Car. We want to. That is why our slogan goes by Toghu from Cameroon to the world, even though it originated from the northwest region of the country. But we want to, when somebody is seen out there with this attire, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter your region, it doesn't matter your cultural background and stuff. We all know that when someone is seen in this regalia out there, we know you are from Cameroon. And just as Kinte and the other cultural outfits from our neighboring countries,
would identify Ghana, South Africa.
Exactly. It originated from a particular region from those countries. But when we see it here in Cameroon or out of Cameroon, it doesn't matter. We know this is coming from Ghana. So we want to wipe that mentality of this fabric being a Bamenda dress and stuff. We want to make it a Cameroonian outfit.
Okay. What is the strategy? What is the plan to make many more people embrace it nationally?
Okay. We've been working a lot. That's what we've been working a lot to see that we get in contact with the government to see that this dream comes true. It's already working. Like she earlier said, in those days you could see somebody in the streets of Yaoundé putting on the Toghu, and you make an assumption that this person is from the northwest, and that is true. But nowadays, the value of the Toghu has gone beyond the northwest region. The only cultural apparel that Cameroon has that doesn't compete with any other cultural apparel in the world is the Toghu. That wherever you stand, you cannot hide the Cameroonian nationality in you. So we are struggling to bring every stakeholder together, and just like we started, we've had a visit with an audience with the Minister of Sport, rather the Minister of Culture, to present the vision to him, because we cannot work without the Ministry of Arts and Culture. It is where the family of culture exists. So we are equally following up everything to be put in place to see that this comes to be true as we all desire.
Okay, so tell me, you're mentioning a nationwide campaign. What are the various stages, if you care, of this campaign? Before we get to that, I wanted to add to your diaspora comment a while ago to note that when we are home, we tend to neglect what makes us unique. I'm thinking about, without any advertisement, I'm thinking about our chocolate bars. I'm thinking about our tea. You know, those are, I'm thinking even about our some people will be shocked here, bobolo. You know, basically those are some of the simple things that are so Cameroonian that when you're in Cameroon you tend to take for granted. So is it strange to you that it is those in the diaspora who feel this urge, this stronger urge to push forward or celebrate this fabric than probably someone who lives in Cameroon who is taking it for granted, or who finds it to be normal?
It's not strange. Anything can be stolen from us.
Has your experience, more or less, has your experience forced you to recognize that you have something special that you need to celebrate?
Of course.
Being away, more or less, that's what I mean.
My experience, not necessarily being away from the country, has made me understand that Cameroon has a cultural value, that's some cultural uniqueness that should be celebrated. When you talked about the Toghu during the African Cup of Nations, the name of the match ball was Toghu. That is a recognition of the glory, the honor this traditional outfit has brought to the country in different sporting competitions. And that is enough for us to understand that we need not to look like Ghanaians. We need not to look like Nigerians. We have something that identifies us. And one of them is the Toghu. So when we went to the Olympic Games, what made us glittering was not even the flag. That was our medals. Not the medals. We left there with a lot of honor, with a lot of recognition.
I think internet users did a ranking of outstanding outfits during the opening ceremony, and Cameroon was right up.
Cameroon was right up. And just to add to what Beng has said, I think that Fonka, so far from the campaigns that we've had amazing testimonies from people who have gone out there. We've heard the son of Balikumba recount to us a story how he went for a conference in the United States of America, and I mean, he stole the show with his outfit, so much such that after that event, a lot of people walked up to him and proposed huge sums of money for him to sell the regalia he was putting on. And what was that regalia? The Toghu. You know, and somebody told him, please don't do this, because this person will buy this and put this in his museum. So the son of Balikumba actually confessed to us that he could not do this because he could not trade our culture for money. And we've also had a lot of people who have also confessed to us how they go for conferences and they steal the show with this regalia. So we think there is something so unique, something so beautiful about this regalia that it should not only end in the Northwest, not to talk of Cameroon, and not even to talk of the world. I think we are going beyond the world. And
I agree, but in that testimony I also sense our cautiousness. Sometimes it's as if Cameroonians want to reveal themselves to the world, but at the same time want to protect what is sacred in their lifestyle. Because this material and the necklaces makes you look royal. It's something we all respect nationally, but nothing says a celebrity who uses it is not going to I don't know, make a skimpier version or, you know, alter it in a way that may not seem proper to you. And the question I'm asking is, once we're selling it out to the world, do we still have so much control over what they do with it?
Of course, we still have so much control over what they do with it, because as we had said, you know, the personality, the kind of design you wear depends on the personality who is putting that on. There are some of these signs, of course, some symbols that doesn't carry every design. We have some symbols that are specially reserved for royalty. And of course, you know that
we, as humans, we are all warriors, we are all winners, and when you put this on, you feel like you always have this external force. You always feel elated, you feel different when you put this on. So it is not to belabor our point. We know it's a very beautiful regalia, it's unique and which stands out. So that is why we know, of course, that with the help of the government and with the help of other stakeholders, we are going to be able to make this very unique outfit stand out nationally and, of course, internationally.
And just to add to what she's saying, the Toghu has a message of peace for Cameroonians. When Cameroon was celebrated at the Olympic Games, I never heard anyone saying it's Bamenda. I never heard people calling the Northwest. I never heard people calling the grassfield. I heard people shouting the name of Cameroon to the top of their voices. And that tells us that there is one thing that unites us, which is our culture. And we must promote it, preserve it, and have respect for it. So that is what I wanted to add to what she
and just to make you know, Fonka, that one of our slogans or our motto at the Toghu Army Movement is a cultural force for solidarity. You bear with me that despite everything, what's happening in the two regions of Cameroon now, we have a lot of differences. But I believe that if we had just one thing which identifies us, I think the story would have been different today. And that is why Maybelle Boma thought that an outfit like this, which can be accepted by the nation, which can be nationally accepted, if something like this had come up before, I think the story would have been different today. Who knows? So, and she thought that it is never late. It's better late than never. And that is why we think that if this outfit is accepted nationally, we shall have something very common that we can stand and speak on. And if this idea had come up years back, the story, of course, would have been different today.
We are at a time definitely where we are looking for the things that unite us rather than the things that divide us. So while we obviously appreciate our cultural diversity, we are saying there is no shame in having one outfit that we hold up high, up there, you know, as particularly Cameroonian. Can you give us a few details about the national campaign? What else would happen after the event at the Muna Foundation?
I think the campaign is already ongoing because we cannot work without the media. I want to equally thank CRTV for the collaboration in promoting this vision. What we have been doing, what we are doing is to organize online campaigns where we can be able to educate the world, not just Cameroonians, on the uniqueness of this cultural apparel that Cameroon has. So there is a lot that we have to do. We are not just limited to making it within the sphere of culture. We want to expand the Toghu. It's just that the camera could not maybe zoom. You could see the shoes I'm wearing. It has the embroidery of the Toghu. And that's to say we are taking the Toghu to different parts. We want an educational
accessories, handbags, bracelets,
an educational system where people will wear academic robes and garments reflecting our cultural values. So we are hoping to work with these institutions in order to make them understand that our culture needs to be reflected in everything that is Cameroonian.
Okay, thank you very much, Martha. Thanks a lot, Humphrey, for taking off time to come and explain to you, to us, the philosophy of the Toghu Army movement. I now realize that it is much more than just a feeling of self-pride. It's a whole philosophy, and we can only encourage you and wish you good luck as you.
Lastly, just to say, we are not neglecting any cultural maybe attire. We are working on the Toghu is just a stepping stone. So we are bringing Sanja, we are bringing everything that is Cameroonian to work on, to show the world that this is who we are. We are proud of who we are.
Great.